Oh, yeah. Oh. Somebody's getting lucky tonight. Good evening, everyone. So President Trump invited over 50 countries to join his Board of Peace to oversee Gaza. He says, however, that he won't let Ireland in until they do something about their industrial waste. Tim Walz says he has no regrets dropping out of the 2026 governor's race, and he will never run again. That is, unless he gets called up to serve in a war. Thieves who stole electrical lines left entire blocks of Los Angeles without power last week. The silver lining? The darkness left people unable to see Mickey Rourke. In his first ballot, Super Bowl winning coach Bill Belichick wasn't elected to the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Adding to the heartbreak, his girlfriend also lost her bid for student council. Because she's young.
Fair.
A Florida man was arrested after neighbors claimed they saw him having sex with a vacuum. In his defense, the blender had a headache. Sydney Sweeney could face charges for hanging her bras on the Hollywood sign. And the same goes for Chris Christie for hanging his bra on the Welcome to New Jersey sign. Dave Matthews said he's horrified by ICE and donated to the ACLU to show his support. Well, I say it's good he put his money where his mouth is, so at least he wasn't singing. I'm from South Africa. Shut up! A new book claims that Shakespeare was actually a black female poet. The proof? She would sit in the audience and yell at her own plays.
All racists would say.
And finally, Apple and Google are selling apps that can generate nude images from ordinary photographs.
Finally.
But still, even when naked, you can't see J.P. Pritzker's penis. All right. Now, when I think of a nurse, I think compassion, care, the nice lady in white who let me use the blood pressure cuff to satisfy a long-time curiosity. But, you know, I don't think of someone plotting to spike patients with toxins or wishing injuries on pregnant women. But lately, it seems people charged with healing you want to do something much, much worse. In Virginia, an anesthesia nurse publicly encouraged colleagues to inject ICE agents with a drug that can paralyze you.
Grab some syringes with needles on the end. Have them full of saline or succinylcholine, you know, whatever. Get the poison ivy oak water, and I'm gonna put it into a water gun. They're an ICE agent, bring some X-Lax and put it in their drinks. Nobody's gonna die. Just enough to incapacitate them and get them off the street for the next day.
Now that's a nurse suggesting a poison ivy spritz and laxative roofie. You know, the same stuff I use to slip into Geraldo's lunch. Now that paralytic drug she suggests is rough stuff. It leaves the victim fully conscious and feeling pain, yet unable to move. What Fox viewers usually experience at 8 p.m. every night. Thank you. Thank you. Tweet that at him. But thankfully for everyone, she got canned. Now, if she wants to play nurse, she'll have to buy a costume from Spirit Halloween. Meanwhile, in Florida, a maternity nurse wishes a severe childbirth injury on our pregnant White House press secretary.
As a labor and delivery nurse, it gives me great joy to wish Caroline Levitt a 4th-degree tear. I hope that you rip from bow to stern and never normally again, you.
Wow. Nice language. Do you blow your father with that mouth? The hospital axed her too, but again, this hag assumed she could share her vile hate without being scrubbed like Jerry Nadler's toilet bowl after Taco Tuesday. Then there's Alex Preddy, the 37-year-old ICU nurse shot and killed by federal Border Patrol agents during a confrontation. He became a left-wing hero, but now video shows him spitting on agents and attacking an ICE vehicle a week ago. The media claimed he had jumped out of a car to assist a family chased by ICE agents. But we didn't see that, did we? And you know what else we didn't see? Cops who were ordered to stand down, just like during the George Floyd Summer of Love. And the result was the same, more death and more destruction. Nice work, Mayor Fry. Maybe find another way to heat your city besides burning buildings or the warmth of your constant farting from a rancid plate of Somali food. Of course, the nation's largest nurses union, National Nurses United, labeled the feds a public health threat. You know, like cancer, opioid addiction, and sharing a toothbrush with Hunter Biden. And previously, they declared racism a public health threat after George Floyd. That's not professional or compassionate. That's ideology with a bedpan. It's funny how you're not hearing about mechanics or plumbers doing this, but nurses, so-called healers. Of course, the media loves to point out that these nuts have no police record, but all it tells you is that they're dumber than criminals, because no criminal would give their lives for them, yet these numbskulls are willing to die for thugs. So what's hijacking their brains? Is it ego, suicidal empathy, a media-driven good versus evil narrative that reduces everything to tribal warfare? Could be, but we're all targeted by that, and yet it's the nurses who flame out, not us. Why? My guess is that their profession lends them the aura of expertise in the world of caring. So they're more arrogantly resolute about their compassion, to the detriment of actual thought. To them, it's a feeling, a right to do actual physical harm. Look, this isn't a nurse problem. It's an identity problem, where being in a caring profession, whether it's a nurse, a teacher, or working with the criminally insane, gives you the right to weaponize your overwrought empathy. Look, I love nurses. They've saved my ass more than once, usually involving a sterilized pair of ice tongs. But once your empathy is hijacked, it goes haywire. The nurse's version of the Hippocratic Oath is the Nightingale Pledge, which says, I will abstain from whatever is deleterious and mischievous, and will not take or knowingly administer any harmful drug, which makes sense. You're supposed to be treating patients, not creating them. Let's welcome tonight's guests. Throw a stick in any Applebee's and you'll hit 10 guys who look just like him. Co-hosted for Fox and Friends Weekend, Charlie Hearn. This lady's into God and has a killer intellect. Host of Fox News Sunday and author of the great new book, Nothing is Impossible with God, Chad and Breed. His children are forced to pay parent support. Actor, writer, comedian Jamie Lissow. And finally, her work with Beavis and Butthead prepared her for Jimmy Fallon. Host of Kennedy Saves the World podcast, Kennedy. Charlie, I noticed this going back a couple of years where in these so-called like compassionate industries, like let's say education, it was the teachers who were crazy during COVID, and it was the nurses that got extra extreme during COVID, and then it kind of spilled over into other issues, whether it was Israel or the border or this. What do you think is going on?
I think you're right. It does have something to do with sort of the professional class. But the real thing, I think, is the perversion of compassion. Mm-hmm. And this idea that, and by the way, it's late stage TDS in the extreme.
Yes, it all comes from there.
If you, and I like you, I love nurses very much. when you've lost the nurses, you have really gone to crazy town.
Yes.
And I think that this entire episode in Minneapolis right now has been is an example of that, where you have people like Jacob Fry and Tim Waltz. They are the ones that are claiming to be the compassionate ones. What would have been the most compassionate thing that Jacob Fry could have done for Alex Preddy? Arrested him 11 days ago when he attacked those officers.
He would be alive now.
He would be alive today.
Yeah. The same thing, I'm sure that if, any kind of sensible preventive care would have saved both of those lives.
But there wouldn't have been a message with it.
Yeah,
It
and
wouldn't have
also
got
Jacob Fry wouldn't have got that cool virtue signal and be hip among all the kids.
Which,
and it
of
cost
course,
lives.
And remember, at the beginning of George Floyd, Jacob Fry was getting booed by audiences for not loving George Floyd enough. He learned that lesson and isn't going to make that mistake again.
So, congratulations, Shannon, on your new book.
Thank you.
Yes. The title is Nothing is Impossible with God. Can I test this?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
I
What
think every
about
day
a
of your life-
romantic relationship with Greg Gutfeld? Shannon?
Who's the
is
other
that
person?
impossible with God?
Who's the other person?
Who wrote the book? I'm testing you, Shannon.
There are some
Is
things,
it impossible?
There are some things in the Ten Commandments about adultery.
Ugh.
You know what I'm saying? Things
Foiled
happen.
again.
Yeah.
Rules, I say. I kid, of course. Congratulations. She's a great writer. You write amazing books, are all bestsellers. Congratulations.
Thank you. I'm hoping that you and Jesse and Harold Ford Jr. will maybe use this as part of your daily Bible study conversation.
You know what's always, I always like to go to the index and see what's
If you're in there?
Yeah, if I'm in there. The best part about the index is she has God listed.
Oh, well,
God,
of course, he's on every page.
37 to 38. God, 11 to 14, 28. Friendship with God. But like God's in here the most.
Yeah, he got more mentions than Greg
Yeah.
Gutfeld in this particular book.
Grief, but not Gutfeld.
No.
So you are a lawyer, and I keep saying this, that like if I were a member of the family of the Goods or the Preetys, I would just sue Minneapolis for not following the protocol and cooperating because then my children or siblings would be alive. Is that possible?
Well, listen, all things are possible. You can file any lawsuit you want to file, but I get that if we trace this back, if you were allowing ICE to come in, they've got a detainer lodged. You know somebody is a bad guy, they're in jail. The state lets them know so the feds can pick them up. Holman talked about this today. It would lessen the amount of agents that you have now roaming the neighborhoods and going out to find people. They don't know if they're armed. They don't know what they're going to walk into. You're going to have a lot more agents in that situation than if Minneapolis had just said, we'll tell you when they're getting out of jail and you can come pick them up here. Then you don't have the Alex Preddy or Renee Good situation.
That is so true. No, Kennedy, you seem like the type of nurse that would keep a bedpan and a freezer.
Oh.
Well, you suffer from a number of anal maladies, so in order to reduce inflammation, I think that would be a gift to you, and you're welcome.
Anal malady, isn't that a classical song by the great...
I believe it was Chopin.
Yes. So, do you think that compassion is being hijacked? That women's innate biological talents are being shunted towards evil mean?
No, I think unfortunately what has happened is people's entire lives, their identities, other aspects of their being that allowed them to be empathetic and well-balanced, they have been completely taken over by their politics. And I can't think of any force in society that creates a greater imbalance than that.
Politics plus algorithm.
Sure.
No, because your politics, you get online and then it just kind of swells.
Then you are in a loop. Absolutely. Yeah. So whatever you put into it, that's what you're getting out of it. And again, that creates another imbalance because you are not seeking other sources of input.
But it's not happening to everybody here. It's happening to a specific type of person. Like nobody after Charlie Kirk got murdered, none of us went out in the street. We didn't act like psychopaths. They're acting like psychopaths for people they don't even know.
Although that was a galvanizing event.
That is true.
For a lot of people. And a lot of people, to Shannon's credit, and I know she writes about this in the book, I'm just assuming, I'm saying, but Charlie Kirk, that was a moment in time where people connected with their faith publicly and deeply in a way they never had, because it allowed for a sense of communion that people were never able to engage with because they were fearful of judgment.
Yeah, if you believe in personal responsibility, you don't act like this.
That is true. Speaking of which, Jamie, you don't believe in personal responsibility.
Sorry.
Do you keep your politics to yourself in the doctor's office?
I do. And you want to hear a crazy coincidence to get pumped for the show? I was actually listening to Anal Melodies in C minor. That anesthesia nurse, if I had to pick who's the most psycho of all of them, that is like a scare. Can you imagine being like the significant other of that anesthesia nurse, and you get in a fight right before you go to bed, and you're like, and you're like, see you in the morning, maybe.
Do you remember a time when you heard the phrase crazy nurses and it meant something else?
Yes. I remember watching Crazy Nurses 4 when I was in college.
Yes!
It was a great film.
Oh my God.
Makes no sense if you didn't see 1 through 3.
Because the plot is
They
so
never
complex.
ate any of the pizza that kept being delivered.
They didn't.
The plots are so complex.
I
Hard
treated
to keep up
Jamie in the
with.
hospital with a stage 4 wrist sprain.
You know what's weird? I actually wanted to be a nurse in college for a minute, and one of my friends told me, I don't know if this is true still to this day, 30 years ago, they told me if you were a nurse, you had to give a sponge bath to other people in your curriculum. And it kind of worked, because I was like, I don't think I'd be good at that. You know, like the teacher would be like, Jamie did great on the exam, but when it came to the sponge bath, it's like you totally ignored that guy's groin. And, but on the other hand, her boobs have never been cleaner, so I'm not sure.
Yeah. I could see him as a male nurse or a chiropractor. I don't know why, but you have a face of a chiropractor.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.